second straight 72-47 over the Providence Friars, now 2-3 in the last 5 for the Musketeers. We're joined by Xavier head coach Brian Neal. You get 3 in double figures. That is a good sign for you usually, and you get 72 points on the board for the first time in a while. Got to feel pretty good to take one out here at St. Center.
Yeah, I thought we had we played a pretty good pace, and we got out in transition and then executed against their zone. A pretty good job. You know, we probably could have got 80 if we would have made a free throw like normal, but you can't have everything, I guess.
Yeah, you shoot 48% from the floor, 47.5, and that free throw percentage usually up in the 60s, 70s for you, and would have been a little bit of a different story, but you didn't really need all that help tonight taking care of Providence 72-47.
Right. Well, I think that's just a lack of concentration at different times, but, you know, I thought we executed our half court for the most part. My only problem is I thought we gave them a couple threes that we, in a scout, that we knew exactly what we were doing, and those are the kind of breakdowns, especially with young players, that just drive you crazy. But I'm nitpicking right now.
Coach Madison Blackwell got off to a great start again tonight, and we've really seen her kind of several games now this season really come into her own, and she's become a big offensive weapon for you, in addition to the defense that she can give you.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is she's doing a lot of that on the inside, and it's beautiful because I'm like, in practice, half the time in practice, nobody can guard her. So I'm like, well, why don't you do that in games and not let anybody guard you there? And tonight she did. So, but you know, she's figuring it out. And so those are big games, and she's had multiple of those. So hopefully she can keep, you know, doing that down the stretch. We're going to need her in some of these big games.
At the defensive end, you know, you could tell early on that the game plan was to not let them have anything around the basket. You had a lot of help coming from a lot of different directions, and Providence never really, at least early on, they didn't pass out of it very well, and you were able to get off to a little bit of a lead and stretch that out there in the first half.
Well, they're fairly balanced. They've got 3 kids that can really shoot it, so it wasn't like we could just pack it in. So we had to know who's who, and of course we don't want to get anything around the basket, but it's like they don't have one player you got shut down. They've got 6, 7 kids who all score between 6 and 12 points. So you kind of got it's like a total team effort. And for the most part, I thought we did a pretty good job with what we were trying to do there.
Turned them over 18 times, got 21 points off those turnovers.
Yeah.
For Providence, so that's a great one for them.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, and Providence is a young team. They're very talented. They've got size. They've got some athleticism. They've got some shooters. But, you know, if you put them in bad situations, they can make mistakes. And I thought that's what happened a couple times. And then we picked up the tempo, and after we got past the first couple minutes, I thought we made pretty good decisions with our transition, which sometimes not is the case with us.
Yeah, you turned it over 12 times, but I thought you did an okay job against the full court pressure as well. That's giving you some trouble in the last couple.
Yeah, 12 turnovers to us is like icing on the cake. I mean, you figure last year we averaged 18 a game, so that's a huge improvement. I mean, we obviously like to cut that back, but when you play as many players like we did tonight, you're playing people who aren't in a lot of situations, so they're bound to make some mistakes too. So
we talked in our pregame about getting everybody, especially your starting 5, getting those 5 all on the same page, all playing well at the same time. And I thought each of them had their moments tonight of really playing well. Jenna got off to a slow start, but I thought she got going a little bit offensively in the second half.
Yeah.
Rayshawn and Aaliyah really, after the strong start by Madison, Rayshawn and Aaliyah kind of carried you offensively later in the game.
Yeah, and they were making very good decisions with our ball screens, and they're dragging, they're hitting the hole just at the right time, and that's where everybody's coming after us. They're pressuring us, they're hedging those, they're trapping our ball screens a lot more, and so we've had to make some adjustments there. And I thought those guys in particular did a really good job with that.
You were impressed with Jada Bird's passing, those no-look passes tonight too, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
We filed a petition to change that number to 32 because of this Magic Johnson.
Oh, well.
You like that idea?
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. I'll sign that petition. No, Jada showed some signs. I mean, she's guarding a really good player at times there, and that's why I told her, if you want to play more, play defense and rebound, and now she'll start finding her offense, and she's starting to shoot the ball better in practice. So we haven't seen the best of that kid yet.
You had a couple of really good spurts of energy. You won really to start the game, got out the 7-0 run. They won in the third period, I think, where we really pulled away, but that's what this team can do when it's playing on that higher level. So now the challenge is to sustain that energy throughout the 40 minutes.
It is. And I was really disappointed with how we came out of the halftime, and we talked about that, of just the win in the first 4 minutes, because the game, it's 17 points, it's a big lead, but it's not insurmountable. And so they make it. We have a couple breakdowns, a couple of shoddy plays, and next thing you know, it's a 12-point game. And so, but then we regroup, our energy level rose again, and then we pushed the lead back out. So, but you rarely is a game going to be perfect, and so we
I got one more question for you, Coach. Got a big game on Sunday, and if you win on Sunday, you're going to be in virtually a second place tie in the Big East. Did you imagine that this team could be in that situation at this time of the year? There's a lot of basketball left, but pretty good situation right now.
I wasn't sure where we stacked up. I'm still not sure where we stack up. We could finish probably anywhere from 2 to 7. And the league is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
If you don't bring it, if you don't have your game plan down, you're probably going to lose. And it's just crazy. But so I thought there was a chance we could be in the upper level, but we would have had to stay healthy. Would have had to learn. We would have had to develop some depth. We would have had to probably shoot the ball better than what we've done so far. So we're not a finished product. I think we're still getting better. Will we finish second? I don't know, but we're shooting just to be the best we can be and see how it works out. But I mean, you said it. We have some brutal games coming up. We got some of the best teams in the leagues, and people are playing very well. And so we've got to build on this moving forward.
Marquette's been a surprise, I think, this season, and then you got Creighton coming back, and that was not a good visit out there to Omaha last time we were there. You had a tough shooting night, and they really took advantage of that. You got a chance to give it back to them maybe a little bit here.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, Creighton's a heck of a basketball team, and especially on their home floor, but I mean, they just with their offense, you're chasing them around, they get you on your heels, and then they get whatever they want, and they stuck it to us pretty good out there. We've got to figure out something in the next 24 hours, 48 hours to slow them down, and it's just not easy because offensively they're very talented, and then they do a very good job of disrupting all the stuff we want to do. They know how to take away Bree Glover, they know how to pressure our ball screens and things like that, so we've got to find some wrinkles for them, but it'll be a tough test.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on your victory.
All right, guys.
Tonight, Musketeers get 3 in double figures here in Cintas Center. Madison Blackwell scores 17 to lead the Xavier Charge, and the Musketeers take a 72-47 victory. We'll be back with you on the Big East Digital Network on Sunday for the Musketeers and Creighton. Remember to follow along throughout the season right here at Xavier.